Hey everybody, Shane Thompson here with Kitesurfing Magazine. I'm the test editor, and I'm here with Jesse Richmond from North Kites. Jesse, how are things?
Oh man, beautiful. It's not super windy right now, but it's a beautiful day.
I mean, you've been in the industry for how many years now?
Over 20.
Wow,
yeah, it's
amazing.
been a beautiful ride and such a beautiful
Hard
sport.
to believe you're such a young-looking man.
Right? I know. Just learned to kite very young.
Yeah. So, as the king of the air, the current reigning king of the air, correct?
Yep.
And then you did that on the Orbit kite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was on probably an 8, 9, and 10 Orbit in the King of the Air, and it's just, I don't know, that's such an intense event. This last year we had it. It was just a one-day experience, so it just, you feel this energy build throughout the day, and to have equipment that just you can rely on and know exactly what it's going to do without thinking about it is so crucial, because you just get into this zone where if you're thinking about what you're doing, you're going to be messing up. You just have to turn everything off, let your body react, let your kite do what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
And I get into such a good flow with the Orbit.
Amazing. And you had a little bit of a challenge this past year with an injury that you've recuperated from?
Yeah, I broke my tibia plateau, and it was a pretty substantial break, but got a nice piece of metal in there to hold it together now, and feeling pretty strong.
Cool.
Yeah.
And have you had a lot of time to test the 2022 Northern Line?
Yeah, so I've been involved. That was kind of one of the first things I did when I started to come back from my injury, was work on all the equipment that is now being released. And the new Orbit, it's lighter weight, so they were able to really reduce the weight of the bladders, which I know people have been saying they do that for years, but to do that at such a substantial amount in the high performance kite is very, very meaningful, and you feel it a lot. Cool. So the kite's lighter, it's a little bit stiffer, and it just is so stable and predictable.
Cool, let's go check out some of this stuff.
You. Please, after
Thank you. Another beautiful day in Hood River.
Oh man, it's gorgeous. I love it. So yeah, what do you guys want to know?
So what is the go-to Orbit, your big air kite? What's changed? What do you like about it this year versus last?
So yeah, like I was saying, the bladder is just being a lighter weight and still 100% as strong, if not stronger, makes it so that it just feels a little bit lighter in the air. It shoots forward a little bit faster, and it's hard to change something that is working so well, especially for all the riders. This kite has been on the podium, multiple places on the podium at King of the Air for years now, since it came out.
Yes.
And yeah, we're just continuing to make little refinements to make it more stable in the most extreme conditions. But it's also what I'll throw my dad on, or like somebody who just wants a simple, easy, you know, sheet in and go kite this thing.
So
it
even
works.
though it's a big air kite, people with a little less skills don't have to be afraid of it.
Oh, it's incredibly accessible.
Nice.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the easiest kites to fly.
Awesome. And when you wave ride, you use this, or you go to
Let's
the carve?
see, where's the carve? Where's the carve? We got a carve down here.
This is a new model right now.
Yeah, so I can show you something new on these kites. Is basically
this is kind of a real redesign. From
so the bridle is a totally new design, where before we had 2 anchor points.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're so good. You're so good.
All right, so let's just walk on down.
Here, wait. This thing fell down. All right, good.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Let's check out this new carve.
Yeah. So this year it's pretty exciting. We've completely redesigned the bridles.
Yeah.
So in years past, it's been a very efficient, very awesome setup, but it was just 2 V's. And new for 2022, we have this cascading multi-toe point kind of setup, which really what it does is it makes the kite feel really solid, and it adds even more D-power. And that's what I've continued to kind of try to figure out with all of the wave riding and the testing that I do with them in Maui, is how do you have a kite that drifts really well and is incredibly stable, snappy, and also has, you know, more D-power than we've ever had before, because that's, you know, one of the limiting factors to wave riding.
Shut off is super key when you're wave riding,
especially
in the big waves that you
in the
go
big waves, or when you're really powered up.
Yeah.
So this kite is, I'm very excited to try this winter out in Hawaii.
really compact bridles, as
Yeah.
well, like so close to the leading edge.
Yeah,
that-
well, it just basically gives it so that it's really connected.
Yeah.
So with this, you know, you have so much control over it. So there's no pulleys on any of our bridles, which is really nice. No moving parts, and it just gives you a really fixed feel to the kite. So when you're like the sensation in the bar is incredibly connected.
Right.
So you can feel everything. You sheet it out a little bit. It kind of just goes on to cruise control, sits there. So I'm very excited about these new bridles.
You're waiting for the waves to come.
Oh
in now,
man,
right?
I cannot wait. It's going to be a fun winter.
Now, do you find it sits forward a little bit more, further in the window than it used to, or is it still a kind of a sit back and pivot and?
So with these new bridles, it does sit forward a little bit more, and we've tried to do that so that you can shoot it forward when you need to,
Right.
but also these are so trimmable, so you can really kind of yank on it and almost backstall it if you need to, because
Cool.
that's what I find is, you know, the key to wave riding is making sure that your kite is perfectly in line with the wave.
Yeah.
And the wind is always changing, so having a kite that just does that automatically doesn't happen. This thing you can trim so you make it work.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Looks really sweet.
yeah. So we're stoked about this.
Right on. And then finally, I guess there's the Reach. It's not new, but still a go-to model for
I
the
mean, we
free ride
do
guys.
have we have the 2022 Reach
Oh,
here.
This is it? Yes.
And we got new colorways this year, and
Yeah.
this kite, I mean, it's pretty magical, where it basically will do, honestly, anything that you want to do, which is something that I haven't experienced too much in kiting. I ride, you know, I've always ridden a big air kite and a wave kite and a foil kite, and they don't call it the desert island kite for nothing.
Right.
This legitimately can boost super high. It loops awesome. It unhooks great. It's great in the waves, and it's definitely our most badass foil kite.
Yeah. I had quite a bit of time on the 12 meter this summer, and amazing kite for just light. Go it on your foil, or if the wind picks up, grab your twin tip, do some boosting.
Exactly.
Teach your girlfriend.
Right.
Teach your buddies, whatever you want, right? So
I'm
amazing.
excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's nice to have this kite in the range.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Put this back in the kite stack.
Hopefully get some wind later.
Oh
Show
man,
us some
hopefully,
moves.
hopefully.
Do you want to go through some of the boards that you did?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Check out the boards.
All right, so we got our whole wing range.
Oh, the new wing range.
Yeah, the Nova, that comes from a 2.9 all the way up to a 6 meter. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've been so pumped on winging lately. It's just the funnest, the silliest.
Yeah.
And what I like about the Nova is, I mean, it's an incredibly stiff wing. We've taken a lot of design features kind of down from North Sailing. We're very fortunate to have kind of the North Sailing technology and a lot of their testers, and be able to have them influence the products that we create. So this is definitely getting closer to the sail design that becomes more relevant to North sails. And yeah, these things, they feel awesome.
How are you telling your friends to fit winging into their daily
I
activities?
mean, I don't know. I'm not having any problem
No.
convincing people to try winging.
That's amazing. Eh?
It's wild
Do you find
in
it's
Hawaii.
do you think it's going to be a gateway to kite surfing?
I mean,
in a
I
way?
think it complements kiting really well, because there's so many days that I'd rather wing than kite. You know,
Yeah.
if it's, you know, knee-high, waist-high waves, the wind's all right, maybe a little funky, where it'd be not ideal for big air, way too small to wave ride.
Yeah.
You go winging and you're just having a blast.
Cool.
So I think it fits really well, because when the waves are pumping or it's really huge, you know, great big air conditions,
Yeah.
then obviously kiting's the ticket. But yeah, a lot of times we get subpar conditions.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
So yeah, and then we can go through, we got all of our foils, and
Wing
this
foils.
year, I'm really excited. I can show you, yeah, this guy.
This is your new high aspect one?
This is
what
our
I was
new
trying
high
to get this
aspect.
year.
Oh
High
man,
aspect.
it makes such a difference.
Does it?
It's wild. Like, this is the 1450. I've been riding the 1250 high aspect, and to be able to like catch a wave so far on the outside and let your wing luff out and just cruise. I mean, to me, it's a dream. Like,
Yeah.
just no longer searching for any sort of lift. You have endless.
Now, do you use the same, like, the swell board? What size is your preference
Yeah,
for
so
that?
I have, let's see, I don't know, this is my go-to. So this one might be, this is a 310, so this is one size smaller than I normally ride. I ride the 4.4,
Yeah.
but these guys are just so light and strong and compact, and the shapes are really perfect.
Cool.
So I mean, this is the same board that I'll wing, I'll kite, I'll prone foil,
Oh, wow.
and I like having kind of that one board to do all those things.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. And
And-
they have a new foil carbon mast this year? is
Yeah,
that-
the all carbon setup is so awesome. So we got the carbon setup with the one-piece base plate all connected with the carbon fuselage here, and then the wings have always been carbon. So now this is a 100%
Pretty cool.
carbon
Not too
setup.
many people or brands have figured out the carbon fuselage.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, this setup is a game changer where it's just so light and so snappy. It just, I don't know, it feels like so feathery under your feet. I love it.
We'd like to try that later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what do you guys want to see next? You want to see some twin tips and
Yeah, we
surfboards?
want to see your twin tips and surfboard.
All right, come on in.
Guys,
All right, so here are these beauties, and oh man, I love this. I love this area. I love when we get to start talking
your
about
office.
surfboards. Exactly. We have, we got Big Mike over here. He is the man. If you guys ever need anything North or Mystic related, he's based out of Hood River, and he's always your guy. But here we have, this is my favorite. This is the Charge. Comes in a 5.5, 5.7, 5.9, and it just, oh man, this year is very, very beautiful. I'm excited.
so do you typically have one size that's your go-to?
So I like the 5.7 has a lot of curve in it.
Yeah.
So for a strapless rider, it is very ideal. It has
Yeah.
a ton of drive. It has these this carbon rail layup. So it basically, it has a pretty cool flex, and it's shaped by our surfboard shaper, Jamie Scott, who's been shaping surfboards
Yeah.
out of New Zealand for many, many years. And he comes from a hardcore surfing background. So he made this board to feel like a very classic shortboard, but tuned for kiting.
Right.
And the 5.7 is, to me, the perfect strapless board.
Yep.
Then when I want to go kind of like aggressive, I throw straps on and I
Yeah.
ride the 5.5, which is really sharp, really fast. It holds a line, so when it gets big, fast, bumpy, that thing just cuts through the chop.
Right.
And it
That's
holds.
your Jaws board? On
It's
big
not
days,
quite.
or-
It's not quite my
Well,
Jaws board, but pretty much everything
I
I'd
mean, it's
ride.
bigger
I'd ride
days.
up to about a 20-foot wave with that
Right.
very comfortably. I mean, even bigger. Who knows? If we can find a bigger wave, we'll ride it. But yeah, it holds that line very well.
Very cool.
So that board, the Charge, I'm incredibly
Now,
amped
did
on.
they change the fins this year as well?
Yes, so we have FCS2 plugs in here, and these fins, this is about a medium flex fin. They do have larges. No, this is a large in here, but we have medium and large fins. And I personally like the medium. I'm a smaller guy, I weigh about 140 pounds. So the mediums work perfectly. But that's a very good way to really stiffen up a board. If you're riding it and you're feeling like it's too loose or too stiff, you change the fin sizes, and that makes a crazy amount of difference.
Cool. A lot of people don't realize the impact of the fin.
Dude, it's wild. It's wild. Then we have, this is basically the all-arounder, the do-everything, the Cross.
Yeah.
This thing rides a wave like a champion, but it also has that very classic kind of freestyle ability to it. So for guys that are looking for one board, maybe you're in Hood River, maybe you like to do strapless freestyle, but you also like to shred on the waves, this is a very good option.
Yeah.
Also with that same carbon setup. And
Very cool.
I mean, yeah,
Got
this thing's silly.
Some shaping down the bottom. a little
Exactly, we
spine
got
there.
the quad channels on the bottom, so it really does hold an edge. It does feel, it almost has a little bit of that twin tip vibe to it at times, where you lean on the rail and it sticks in super hard. So when you're trying to land these jumps, you can have almost like that load and pop like you would on a twin tip, but you get that on a surfboard. You also have the inserts if you so wish to put straps on this thing. This is kind of like a do-everything board. And then you have something brand new for this year, which is very exciting, which is our Dynalite construction, where you can feel this and you tell me what you think. Oh boy, we're dropping stuff. This is our
That's
lightest
pretty
weight
cool.
surfboard ever
Very
made.
light.
And it's also bomb-proof. This was designed in tandem with Camille D'Illinois, who is such a champion. I don't know if you've seen his stuff online, but he's doing triple front rolls, huge kite loops, all strapless, all on this board. And when he comes down, he is just stomping it. And that's where we realize, all right, we need something that can withstand the beating that he's putting on the gear. And you know,
It's
for any
definitely
of
got
the
a different scoop
Oh
shape.
yeah, hollow deck. So when you're standing on it, it's really thin beneath your feet, so you
Yeah.
feel the board super
gotta be like
super
an
well.
inch.
Yeah, no, you're almost like sitting underneath the water when you're riding it. So it's a whole new style of riding, and the strapless freestyle team has been absolutely
cool.
loving it. I haven't actually even gotten a try on this board yet. It's that brand new. I'm
Wow.
excited to check it out though. And then,
looks
if you so wish, we can go through the twin tip lineup.
Well, we got you here. Let's,
Yeah,
you know, we're gonna put you
absolutely.
to work.
Yeah, so we got the Trace, which this is a really exciting board for people who live in lighter wind conditions or people who just want, you know, like the easiest, simplest setup. This is a go-to that they call it the session saver, you know, when a lot of the time you'd look at it and be like, there's not enough wind for me to go. This one will get you out there, but it's also gonna be a fun time. It's not one of those huge doors that you can't even do anything on. It's specifically designed to just excel in those light wind conditions and make them feel fun.
Yeah, get you out there and not reduce the performance levels.
Exactly, exactly.
Amazing.
And then we have the Atmos Carbon and the Atmos Hybrid, and both of these boards are really awesome. These are the high performance, big air, free ride boards. And I mean, Nick and Graham and our whole Big Air team, Mark Jacobs, they put this board to the test every session. It is crazy. And they've really been a huge part of the design process on this board.
Very different.
Like for King of the Air, this board is what a lot of guys ride. I still ride the Focus because I've always come from a little bit of a wake style board
Yeah.
background. That's what I dig. But these things have a pretty flat construction, so they rocket upwind, super snappy, super lightweight. And it comes in the carbon construction and the hybrid. The hybrid's a little bit softer because it has, you know, it still has the carbon setup in it, but this one, the full carbon is the pre-melt.
Any redesign on the foot straps this year? Or?
Yeah, they've used slightly different materials that are incredibly grippy. They've stiffened it up a little bit. And these things, to me now, are so dialed in. Like, they feel really, really awesome. They offer a huge amount of support. We still have the same 2 anchor points on one side, one on the other, but it allows you to really dial in where you want the strap tight, how you want it tightened. And we have just 3 settings, so you can choose it's pretty basic to choose your angle. You have some size controls. You can change the placement of those. But relatively simple and
Yeah.
very easy to use.
And easy to put on.
Exactly.
That's key.
Exactly. And last we have the Astra here, which is for the kids, for the gals, for the lighter weight riders. It's got a lot more flex. So if somebody on the Atmos might be a little bit too light for it, the Astra is great. It's designed for people who want to have a very soft, forgiving board. So or basically simulate what the Atmos would feel like for
Right.
us if you're a lot lighter.
Right. It's important to have gear for lighter weight people.
Exactly.
Even though, because most of the designers are bigger, right?
Very, very large gentlemen. They're tall. They're tall. They're a lot taller than I am.
That's like magazine publishers.
Uh,
A little bit
Yeah.
more solid in the midsection.
Well, we kind of went through these.
Yep.
This is the new. Isn't there a new scoop though? I heard. Isn't this the newest small scoop?
There is the Scoop Mini. This thing is the micro edition. So there's been a lot of guys that have been having fun with, making the kite foil boards as small and thin and light as possible. And this is kind of the next evolution there, where it weighs next to
This
nothing.
was the original scoop.
Exactly.
The difference, right? Look at the difference.
Yeah, no, it gets way smaller. So
Yeah.
these things are fun. I'm excited about really playing around with this thing.
I was on this a lot this summer. I love
Yeah, the
this
Scoop, it's a
But now
fun
I'm
board.
like,
It's a stable
ooh.
base. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if the Scoop was good, the Scoop Mini is going to be even more fun.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we went through the Swell, and then we have the Seek, which is our bigger wing board for sup foiling,
Yeah.
wing foiling. It comes in a whole range of sizes, but really, there is I don't know if this is the biggest one. I think there's even a few that are bigger. So it doesn't matter if it's your
Yeah.
first time on the water or you're kind of progressing through it. That board will really help you get out there.
Cool. And do you want to take us through the bar just
Oh,
quickly?
yeah, of
and
course,
we'll,
of course.
This
Our
was a bit of an
our control
industry-leading
system,
one.
this thing, I mean, I love having a simple, clean machine that works very, very well, and that's what they've done with this bar. Is you have all of the luxuries of, you know, the adjustable line here, so you can change the width of the bar from this is a 45 to 50, so it can be wider, it can be narrower, but it's clean. It never gets in your way. You never have to deal with it. We have our super incredible chicken loop that is very easy to reload. You can do that one-handed. You don't ever need to try to explain to somebody pulling it up and putting the pin in there like,
Right.
you know, we've all done for years. This is just bam, click and done. We have the interchangeable loops. So you pull down this little safety guide, push this thing out, and there you go. You pop the chicken loop out, and we have a long freestyle loop. We have the rope slide or surf loop. We have a super short loop. So you can really dial in your gear, because a lot of times, you know, guys, gentlemen like myself might not have the same reach that a 6'4" guy would have. So just making that chicken loop shorter makes a very big difference.
Very cool.
And it's incredibly easy to do. You literally just click it in there, push, bam, and you're ready to go.
That is brilliant, really.
So there's also a new grip pattern. I really like the edge that we have here on the bar. It's noticeable, the front and the back. So if you ever feel like you're grabbing the bar underwater, it feels wrong. One
yeah.
side.
They're different textures
Exactly,
on the
it
right
was
and the left.
asymmetrical, so you feel that kind of toe kick on the back. So when it's backwards, the bar
Right.
doesn't feel right. So
Right.
you, without looking, without trying to figure it out, you know, okay, something's wrong. Spin it around. You're like, yes, that's what I remember.
Very
So,
cool.
very excited about this new setup.
Sweet. Well, that was an excellent take through of the North lineup. Thanks, Jesse.
Look at the wings on the wall over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We did cover the wings, but let's go
So,
through here.
we went through, we have the aluminum mass, the carbon setups here. Still have the aluminum, but these carbons, I'm so excited about this setup. And then on the wall here, we have our wing range, and we go from the 850 up top, the 1150, the high aspect, 1450, 1250, the 1500, 1650, 1850, and the big old 2200.
Whoa.
So basically you have the surf wings and you have the high aspect wings.
And then
The
kite wings.
850 is pretty much the kite wing. I do use that toe surfing sometimes.
Oh, yeah?
Really fun,
Oh, so
super
it
fast.
gets really fast.
Exactly. That thing flies incredibly fast. But then basically the 1150, that's kind of your do-it-everything wing. You can use it kiting, super fun, still has a lot of speed, great for prone foiling, great for wing foiling if you kind of want to go faster. Then you go into the high aspect range, the 1250 and the 1450. These guys are just, I think, you know, almost the future of winging. I think that we're going to see a lot more of this to come. These have worked very, very well, and there's some cool little shaping on this. So basically on the wingtips, if you look very closely, you can see you have
A
just
little
here at the
dihedral,
end
yeah.
a little sneaky curve, which
Right.
I'm not a scientist nor a specialist in hydrodynamics, but I can tell you that there's some magic in that
There's something
wingtip
to
there
that.
that makes this thing so fast, so fun to ride. Honestly, very easy to get used to, which I was scared coming from the surf wings.
Right.
I've been riding these surf wings for years. I was pretty hesitant to try the high aspect, and honestly, after one session, I was sold. I was like, this thing is
This is the one I'm keeping.
amazing.
On here.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And then, yeah, we go into our bigger surf wings, which these guys are awesome. Very easy to use. The 1500 has an incredible amount of lift while still maintaining really awesome speed. So for a lot of guys that want that high performance surfy feel, but don't want a foil that's very hard to ride,
Right.
this is a really, really good option.
Amazing.
And from there on, yeah, just the bigger you get, the more lift you have.
Awesome.
So
The booth looks great.
Thank
the line
you.
looks great this year.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for hooking us up.
Oh my
Everyone, check out kitesurfingmag.com for all of our videos. Give us some comments on anything or any questions you have, and check out North Kiteboarding.